This 16th of September picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog has a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code MLB SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Monday, September the 15th. We are here to handicap a full slate of action on the diamond for Tuesday, September 16. I am joined by Dylan Rockford. And D-Rock, we are going back to back. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
40 games, Dylan. I think we should have some sort of challenge here. We're going, the schedule gets sort of mixed up. Lundy and Scott, we all take different days, but we're going 3 nights running. So do you feel like you can beat me? Look, I mean, the Lock Dog home run challenge over the next 3 nights, Dylan, has to be for all the beans between me and you, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, sounds good. I'm up for the challenge. Definitely going to lose on the home run, though. But yeah, challenge accepted with the Lock Dog. It's I think it's because of me. I am going away on Thursday and Friday for the weekend. My cousin's getting married in Rhode Island, so going to go up there and couldn't make it for Thursday. Going to be belligerent.
Oh, what goes on in Rhode Island? Is that a fun place? Is it a nice place?
Yes, it's very nice. It's a very wealthy state. It's about a 3.5-hour drive from where I'm at. But yeah, it should be nice. Families all getting together. And yeah, it's just a really good small. It's the smallest state in the country.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Should be fun.
Yeah. Sounds fun. I've got quite a busy week, but Bob's got quite a big football trial on Wednesday. But then Thursday, you know what Thursday is, D-Rock, don't you? It is Newcastle United against Barcelona up here in the Champions League. So me and Bob have got tickets.
Nice.
The only thing at the minute, I'm a little bit torn because obviously if their better players don't play, you've got more chance of winning. But then equally, you want to see their better players play because how many times in your life do you get to watch? So, for example, Lamine Yamal, who you're aware of, probably the best, well, unquestionably the best young player in the world at the minute, is currently injured. He's questionable. He's got something wrong with his pubic bone. That's all that about. I've never heard that in sport in all my life. So
only soccer players. Does
what you insinuating there, Dylan?
Hey, you read into it how you want. Does Bob play left back?
Bob is he's a central midfielder, general.
Was Vincent Kompany like that, or no? He was a defender.
He was a centre back. He was a central defender. Yeah,
legend.
You're getting there, Dylan.
I'm getting there.
You, mate.
My favorite player is Philip Lamb.
Okay, he was a fullback. Yeah.
It's my guy.
Brick by brick, we will touch you. Right, here's something. Bennett has just joined us in the chat. Bennett has said that the Diamondbacks are going to sneak into the wild card spot. I'm not sure about that. But, Bennett, I'll tell you something coincidence. I had my Diamondbacks hat on today, and I went out to work this morning, and I was in the middle of nowhere. I'm not exaggerating. The middle of nowhere. The North Yorkshire moors. Like the fucking wild. The wind was howling. The rain was going sideways. And I had to meet an engineer and get from this part. And he was supposed to go up a giant, 200-foot mast, which he didn't do because it was too windy. However, I got out the van and the engineer said, I've got a hat like that. I was, what, a Diamondbacks hat? He said, yes. I went to watch Arizona when I was in the Army. He was in the British Army. Ended up in Arizona, and he has an Arizona Diamondbacks hat. So I have never seen an Arizona Diamondbacks hat in this country, apart from mine. So I met a bloke today in the middle of nowhere, and then the first person in the chat tonight comes with the Arizona Diamondbacks chat. So is it a sign, Dylan, is the question there. Do you believe in all that? It's ominous, Bennett. Get your money out.
Do you run into a lot of people that watch baseball like you do?
No,
none, right?
None. The only people who do are the Nighthawks. That was part of the reason
Yeah.
I went down and sort of joined up with those boys. But that's a load of expats. That's a load of Americans, Canadians, a ton of Dominicans, a ton of Asian students, because Newcastle and Durham nearby both have large universities. So you get a load of Japanese, Korean students, stuff like that. So very few. There's about 5 middle-aged white men involved with the Nighthawks who'll watch the baseball. But no, not a single person, Dylan. I even excitedly asked that bloke today, so do you know anything about the games? You watch it? He just said, no, I've just got the hat. He bought the hat. Drank loads of beer. So that's all he knew. But he didn't recognise it, so there you go. Adrian Alfaro has joined us as well. Adrian's telling us San Diego are going to lock it in this week, and the Dodgers are going to shit the bed against Philly. So we've got shout-outs so far for San Diego and Arizona in the chat. 2 weeks to go. But there's a couple of big series. There's a big Silver Boot series starting tonight.
There's a couple series this upcoming week.
Yeah, that division, the West is certainly up there. Check out the SGPN app in your app store for easy access to all of our free picks and props. Okay. Tuesday starts with... Right, there's a double header, which we will tackle in its entirety later on, because we should do that first. You're right, Dylan. You said we should do that first, and you're right, we should. It's the Braves and the Nationals, because it's the first start of the day, so we will tackle it first. 1:05 Eastern, Braves Nationals is TBD against Jake Irvin. But we do have confirmed pitches for this second game, which is Chris Sale against Mackenzie Gore. I mean, initially I didn't have much for this doubleheader at all because the pitchers weren't confirmed. Now we're seeing Sale v Gore for game 2 of that doubleheader, Dylan. Does that give you anything to work with?
Well, for the first game, I think I like an over. I think it might be Dane Dunning getting the start for the Braves, okay. So it's kind of like a relief or bullpen type day for the Braves in game 1 against Jake Irvin, who I think we're going to see some runs between those two pitchers, especially how bad the bullpen is for the Nationals as well. So probably look towards an over if it is those two. My total came out to 9.4. But the second game, I definitely think the Braves should win with Chris Sale on the mound. Nothing really that I love. I only made him a -145 favorite. So depending on what the line is, I probably would take the Braves in game 2. Like I said, usually how I like to bet doubleheaders, if I back one side, usually I like to go against it the next game. So I know they're not playing really well right now, the Braves, but I do think with Chris Sale on the mound, I do think he'll be able to limit the Nationals' bats. So yeah, I probably would take them. And they weren't really playing. I know Washington's playing better baseball than the Braves right now, but they've been playing against the Miami Marlins and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So, you know, the level of competition has nowhere near been against what the Braves have been going against with Houston and the Chicago Cubs. So yeah, I probably would take the Braves in game 2 and maybe lean towards an over. I think we see some runs in game 1.
Yeah, my only thought here is that game 2 could be low scoring because Sale wasn't as sharp last time, but had been excellent before that. And Mackenzie Gore's been going along nice and steady. He's had 2 unders in a row, 2 and 3 earned runs. Chris Sale is one of the few spots for the Braves you can be trusted, but 4 unders in a row. Game totals, in fact, in the last 4 games for Sale, 5-5, 5-5. 1-2 and lost 2, so it's hard to pick a side. But with Mackenzie Gore going okay in Sale, keeping those numbers down. Plenty of strikeouts for Sale, by the way. I don't know where the line is, but 9, 9, 9, 7, 11 in his last 5. So, yeah, we could see a low scoring one in that second game. Right, let's get on to these games that we can handicap properly. 6:40 Eastern, Cleveland Guardians at the Detroit Tigers. It will be Joey Cantillo, left-handed pitcher for the Guardians, will take on Casey Mize of the Detroit Tigers. Tigers -150 favourites, Cleveland +125, and the total is 8. This was quite tricky to pick a side because Joey Cantillo is a bit of a head-scratcher. He's gone from being sent down to he then returned in mid-August. And went 8 scoreless against the Royals. So I'm not really sure in what draw to put Joey Cantillo. Only allowed 1 earned run in each of his last 4 starts. Detroit, 17th shutout of the season last night for the Tigers. When we talk about the Tigers, we very often mention run prevention. In fact, very often it's in the Guardians v Tigers series, or these central series, Royals, Tigers, that kind of thing. Casey Mize is fine. He won his last 2. And what I liked here is there's a large sample against the CL Central for Mize. 10 starts, 3.61 ERA. 2 of those starts against Cleveland. 12 innings, and he only gave up 1 solo homer. So I do feel like it's another run prevention series. I would take Cleveland as a side. I don't think Mize can be minus 150 favourite. And Cantillo's been pitching well. So forced to pick a side, I pick Cleveland. But I do think this is a low-scoring game, Dylan.
Yeah, Guardians are, outside of the Mariners, probably one of the hottest teams right now. 9-1 in their last 10. They're not scoring a bunch of runs, but their pitching has been really good. They have a really good bullpen. And I feel like the Tigers' offense just hasn't looked the same in the past week or so. They couldn't get going against the Marlins. And I feel like now they're in a bad spot taking on a Guardians team who's red hot. Joey Cantillo, I think he is better on the road. Hitters are only hitting 209 off of him on the road. He's only given up 3 runs in the last 24 innings. So I trust him much more than Casey Mize, who, to be frank, he's been up and down every time I back him. He's a little inconsistent. So, yeah, I probably would take Cleveland here. I see plus 102, so I don't mind taking the plus money here with Cleveland on the road.
Okay, double bubble with Cleveland. Eli's joined us. Eli, welcome along. There's loads of people in the chat who haven't said hello, which, frankly, is quite rude, everybody. So give us a wave. Tell us what's going on. Now, this next one is a low-key beauty of a pitching matchup. 23:40, 11:40. That's my time. You know what my time. You want your time. 6:40 Eastern time. Chicago Cubs at the Pittsburgh Pirates. It will be Cade Horton for the Cubbies going up against Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Skeens is the favourite at minus 131. Cubs are plus 110. Total is 7. D-Rock. Good game.
Yeah, this is the pitching matchup of the day. I like the first 5 under. I like the full game under. My total came out to 6.9. I know Cade Horton's numbers do go up when on the road, but he hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in his last 10 starts. He's been great home or on the road. The only reason we saw 2 overs in 2 of his last 3 road starts was because the offense broke out against the Rockies and the Halos, 2 of the worst pitching staffs in the league. So now they're going against Skeens, who he's been nails at home for the Pittsburgh Pirates this season. Only 2 runs given up at home for Skeens in the last 4 starts. And he's had success against this Cubs team. Winds are going to be blowing in tomorrow evening. I think we see a 2-1, 3-1 type of game. I like the under. I also like the Cubs plus 110. I only made the Pirates a minus 105 favorite. So I'll take the plus 110 from the Cubs, and I also like the under.
I agree. I think you have to take the Cubs. We know what Skeens is. There's no holes to be picked. But he suffered the fate that you always run the risk of last time out. When you bet Pittsburgh with Skeens, they lost 2-1 against Baltimore. He's brilliant and they lose 2-1, and he's going to go off as a favourite. Cade Horton has been Rookie of the Year worthy lately. Absolutely top class. Last 12 starts, only 9 earned runs. And we know Cubs are a better team than Pittsburgh, so we get the better team. And like you say, if you want to take the Pirates, you're running that risk of taking a minus 130 and getting beat 2-1. I think plus 110, the Cubbies will be the answer there.
Real quick, I want to ask, real quick, Mal, I just want to answer Eli in the chat. He said, what books do you guys have, or if we have a favorite book? I don't have a favorite book. I have at least 9 to 10 accounts offshore, public books. I can't stress how important it is to shop around. You don't want to be giving these sports books any more money of your hard-earned money that you work for. So if you get a minus 110 and other books are minus 130, why would you pay 20 cents? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I am so pleased you answered that question first, D-Rock, because fucking hell, I'm showing my age here. I read that as, what's your favourite book? As in, like, novel? So I was just going to break out and tell Eli that I really like The Grapes of Wrath, or I like Cannery Row by John Steinbeck. And that is not what Eli meant at all. So I'm going to really, really embarrass myself there.
Wow.
I thought we'd got off script. I thought we were having a little literature chat. Yeah, basically, it's wherever I've got money. Do you know what I like? Spread it around at some point in the last few weeks, find some value. And then normally they all lose and my money ends up in one place. So I'll just use that until it's gone. So I probably should shop around more. Absolutely. But it's normally wherever the money's gone. Like, and then when it's gone, I'll top up at various places, finding the value. But yeah, anyway, Cannery Row is the answer. It's an absolute beauty. It's biblical. 6:45 Eastern. Oh, pitch and change. Bollocks. The Athletics are at the Boston Red Sox. Left-handed pitcher Jeffrey Springs for the A's. And we are seeing now for Boston, I did have Dustin May, but I'm now seeing left-handed pitcher Connolly Early. Scheduled for that one. There are no lines as a result of that pitch and change. D-Rock, do you know anything about this kid Early? 23-year-old. Wow.
23. He's a young kid. He just made his first start last week against this A's team. He went 5 scoreless. He had 11 strikeouts. 11. He was dealing. And Springs, he just got rocked by this Red Sox team. So you know how I feel like you know how I feel about Jeffrey Springs. I am not high on him at all. I don't think he's that good. And I think this is a nice spot for Boston. Coming back home, or not coming back home, but I feel like this is a good spot for their offense to get back on track. It wasn't the best series versus the Yankees, but maybe seeing a familiar face who they've had success over might get them back into the rhythm a little bit. So, yeah, I do like the Red Sox, depending on the number, though, but I expect them to be a big favorite, probably like around -170, -180.
I think we can see some runs here. I watched Boston jumped on Will Warren last night, early and often. 5 consecutive singles? There were 6-0 up before I had a chance to go to bed at about midnight last night. Springs is plodding along. His whip is okay, but he's got home run problems. His home run to fly ball rate is too high. Lost his last 3 starts by an aggregate score of 16-3. The only thing that puts me off Connolly is, can the A's make this adjustment, make a little adjustment? Very often like taking the rookie's first time up. But they're seeing him again. So I think I had an overmark down with Dustin May, and Connolly's presence doesn't put me off that at all. I think the A's could chip in with 3 or 4, and Boston could score 5 or 6. So the total, if you got a total on this, D-Rock, what would the Rockford lines be?
Yeah, if it is Connolly Early and Springs, I made my total 9.8. So yeah, I expect runs as well.
Oh, well, my 6-4, just about squeezing. But yeah, I think we see some runs. I tell you what, Boston team total might be the other option. If I'm not fully convinced by what to do with Connolly, so we can take him out of it. Springs will give up a few dingers last night, particularly the way that Boston lineup, runs quite deep. There's not an easy out in there, and there's sort of names that you're not that familiar with. I was watching like Romy Gonzalez last night. I was thinking, I haven't really watched this kid. And then fucking hell, every time it's a competitive at-bat, like, they're not playing games, the Boston Red Sox. Maybe just a little bit too late to cast my bet. But Adrian, I see we've got some Steinbeck quotes popping in the chat now. This is officially the most highbrow episode of the MLB Gambling Podcast.
I haven't heard of it.
Dylan, man, stop it. You let yourself down so badly. I was going to say, Dylan does has a favourite book. And he still can't quite believe how hungry that caterpillar was, can you, Dylan? Do you even get that joke? No, fucking nothing.
I don't even know.
I promise you, Dylan, everyone in the comment section is laughing really hard at that joke. That is a top-class gag.
You know what book I have read?
Come on, then.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
There you go. Did you have to do it at school?
No. Well, I had, yes. Well, yes, that's part of the reason.
No.
That's part of the reason. And then I was like, and then I wanted to be a lawyer. So I was like, I could be like this guy, Atticus Finch. Then I got my glasses after him, too. I tried to mold his whole look. I was invested. That's a top 5 book of all time.
I tell you what, this is the best segue into the next game as well, because you can kill as many Blue Jays as you like, but it's a sin to kill a Mockingbird.
Exactly.
Next game on the board is the Toronto Blue Jays. I'll tell you what, people think this shit's just thrown together, Dylan. It's absolutely seamless. Oh man, I've just coughed. I got so excited. MyBookie.ag is your place to bet on football and everything else. Prop Builder is second to none. The motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're brought to you by Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig is an exchange. You know, you're getting some of the best prices in the market. Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app. Get $50 when you spend $5. Use our promo code SGPN. Get on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. 7:35 Eastern is the Toronto Blue Jays at the Tampa Bay Rays. Jose Barrios will take on Ryan Pepiot. Pepiot for the Tampa Bay Rays. Tight on the books. -105 the Blue Jays. -115 the Rays. Total here is 8.5. Blue Jays continue to hold their nerve. 8-3 now in their last 11. I like Berrios. I mean, two fairly middling lines, sort of game logs here for these two pitchers. Berrios is fine. He's actually a run better on the road than he is at home. Pepiot has been very good. I know you've been high on him the majority of the season. Quite short starts, 5 innings, 3 in a row. All scoreless, though. All 3 wins. And the last 2 of those went under. But I do like the way the Blue Jays are holding the nerve and just getting it done, scoring runs as well. They could easily have sort of panicked a little bit. But Toronto have responded to this pressure. They put up another 11 runs last night. And the Rays could easily phone it in at this point. Some of the Blue Jays, Ernie Clement, what we pronouncing that? Absolute flames the last few days, Ernie Clement. I will take the Blue Jays here at -105. I just think they're going to keep rolling, Dylan. They look locked in. They're focused, and I think they can win this.
Yeah, I like the over 8. I see 8s out there. I like the Blue Jays, too, kind of as a short dog. I made my total 8.9. I made the Blue Jays a -110 favorite. I think you might be higher on Pepiot than I am. He's been good. I'll give him that. But I just think Jose Barrios has been much better on the road than in Toronto this year for the Blue Jays. 5-3, 3.57 ERA on the road. The Blue Jays have won his last 5 starts on the road. Now he's he's good to give up 2-3 runs, but like you said, this offense just seems to be finding their rhythm. I think they're going to keep it going here. They had a nice series against Baltimore. They've scored 5+ runs in 4 straight games, where the Rays have also scored 3+ runs in 4 of their last 5 games. So I think both pitchers are good to give up a few runs each. I think the Blue Jays are the better team. They're the hotter team right now. So I love the plus money on them, and I think we see another high-scoring game. So yeah, I'll take the over, and I agree on the Blue Jays.
Okie doke. Next up, this is one for you, D-Rock. We will go to the top of the page for a 7:10 Eastern first pitch between the San Diego Padres and the New York Mets. It will be Michael King for the Padres. Clay Holmes is going to start for the Mets, but they've got a little piggyback thing going. I don't know if you know. They've dropped Sean Manaea into the bullpen. Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to make one pitcher out of 2 pitchers. They're trying to get one good start out of Holmes and Manaea. So Manaea is going to piggyback off Holmes tomorrow. And this is a match on the books. It's -110 each of 2. And the total, D-Rock, is 8.5.
Yeah, I don't love either side in this game. I only made the Mets a -110 favorite, but I just have a really hard time trusting them at the moment. And outside of that Rocky series for the Padres, they haven't been playing the best baseball either. You know, they struggle on the road. If anything, I'd probably take an under 8. My total came out to 7.4. It is going to be a colder night in Queens tomorrow. Winds will be blowing in. And I thought Michael King was decent in his first start back. Only 2 runs given up in 5 innings. And Clay Holmes isn't terrible at home. The last time he faced his Padres club, he only gave up 2 runs, and the game did go under this total. So Padres, they are 7-3 towards the under in their last 10. They have a really good bullpen. I think they're going to do a good job limiting this Mets team. Maybe a Mets team total under, but yeah, Padres should win this game. I can't back the Mets here, and I like the under for the game.
I kind of swung the other way, Dylan, although the weather hadn't really factored into my handicap, just because I think all the pitching options looked a little bit vulnerable. The Mets got a much-needed win last night. That was an absolute lifesaver. That was a proper shot in the arm, like breathed new life into the Mets. Pete Alonso with the walk-off 3-run shot last night.
Hey, how's your RBI bet doing?
He's 10 behind. I know. He's going to finish second, which isn't a bad effort. It is bollocks. 18-1. I don't mind it. I've done all right, but that's not going to pay the bills, D-Rock. It returns £0 is what's happened. Yeah. How many? Kings got a couple of starts back from the IL, the last of which 5 innings, 2 earned runs against the Reds. Hasn't pitched on the road yet since his comeback. Holmes was bullied last week by Philadelphia. But a lot of pitchers have suffered that fate as well. Struggling to go beyond 4 or 5 innings, so they're adding the safety net of Minaya, who's also been struggling. So at least it's a strategy. They're trying something. I don't mind it. Do you know what I mean? They're not being passive about what they're trying to do. But all pitching options do look vulnerable. Maybe this total will come down, D-Rock, if the weather's looking a bit dodgy. 8.5 might come down to 8. But I thought we could see some runs here. I'm going to take the over. What's going on down here? Tom's here. Tom Dinetti. I mentioned Tom a couple of weeks ago. Tom's been putting his YouTube picks out, YouTube shorts and stuff. So if you get a chance, go and follow T Dinetti. Tom is going for the win. Me and Tom normally trade picks most days via X Messenger and stuff. So welcome, Tom. Lovely to have you live with us. Where are we going? 7:40 Eastern is the Seattle Mariners at the Kansas City Royals. Logan Gilbert for the Mariners will take on Michael Wacha of Kansas City. I've put Royals at Mariners. That little graphic should say Mariners at Royals. Seattle are -135. The Royals +115. And the total here is at 8. Seattle absolutely rolling. 9-game winning streak. Cal Raleigh hit his 54th homer last night. They've had a +43 run differential in that 43-game winning streak. George Kirby had 14 strikeouts on Sunday. So there's a lot of momentum. There's a lot of ticks in boxes for Seattle. And having said all of that, I'm now going to tell you why the Kansas City Royals are going to win this. Gilbert's only given up 1 earned run in 3 of his last 4 starts. 103 whip on the season is spot on. Has struggled on the road. In fact, almost a different pitcher on the road. 5.29 ERA. Michael Wacha is far more reliable at home. The last twice, 1 v Detroit, 2.92 ERA. There's lots of things pointing for Seattle completely. And the other thing with this is Seattle's road record is absolutely dog shit, by the way. Seems to have gone under the radar. So they kind of got away with it like they are. Did I write it down? I thought I had it 31-44 or something. It's not very good at all. Let me just clarify this. Seattle Mariners, 34-41. They're 7 games under 500 on the road. I think we can fade Gilbert. I think we can back Wacha. And I think we can fade that road record. +115. I'll take the Royals as a dog, Dylan.
Yeah. My numbers actually made the Royals a -105 favorite here, but to be honest, I really don't want to get in front of this Seattle train right now. I mentioned it earlier. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball. They've won 9 in a row. They took over first place in the AL West. So my Mariners ticket is live here. They got about 15 games left or so. Offense looks good, and they just can't lose right now. But I do worry about Logan Gilbert on the road. That's why I kind of like the over 8. My total came out to 8.6. Gilbert has a 5.29 ERA on the road. He's given up 3+ runs on the road in 4 of his last 6 road starts. I know he's been pitching well. You mentioned his last start with all the strikeouts, but I think the Royals can get a few runs off of Gilbert here. They just put together 16 total runs in the last 2 games versus the Phillies. So Kansas City, the pitching hasn't been there for them either. Michael Wacha, this is his first start back from getting a concussion. I'm going to fade him in that aspect. Last time he faced the Mariners, he got smoked. You always want to back Seattle on the road with the runs. They are an over team on the road. So, yeah, I'll take an over 8. I feel like the number is a little too small.
Okay, conflicting views on that one, D-Rock. Next game is off the board, 7:40 Eastern, Baltimore Orioles at the Chicago White Sox. Baltimore TBD, have been all day. I've got no idea who might go for the Birds. Shane Smith is confirmed for the White Sox. Smith did get us the win last week. Mine Lonte picked him against the Tampa Bay Rays. 7 innings against the Royals. 5 innings against the Rays. Scoreless in his last 2. I wouldn't see a reason to change this particularly to get off White Sox, to get off Smith. Obviously not much else to add, though, with... I don't know who Baltimore would have to throw for me to want to change my mind. Maybe Trevor Rogers. Could we get this down to a first 500 or something? But yeah, I wouldn't be getting off the White Sox in a hurry, Dylan.
No, I kind of like the White Sox too. Like you said, Shane Smith has been really good here for the White Sox. Especially at home, 2.98 ERA has been really good. I know the record really isn't there for him, but I think we could see a lower scoring game here. But I think it might be Tyler Wells, but he's only pitched two starts. He's only had 2 starts, so small sample size for Wells, but he's been good too. So I think we see a lower scoring game, maybe like a 4-1, 5-1 type day. If it is Wells and Smith, my total came out to 8.1. So maybe a little lower scoring game if it is those 2.
Tyler Wells, that makes sense, actually. I did handicap him last night, so he might have been pushed back a day. And I handicapped him favourably. So that would point me towards an under if it was Wells going up against Smith. 7:40 Eastern first pitch. The New York Yankees are at the Minnesota Twins. Cam Schlittler for the Yankees will go up against Zebby Matthews of the Twins, who are plus 145 home underdogs. Yankees minus 172. Total D-Rock is 9.
Yeah, I don't mind the Yankees here. Like you say, maybe one of those 1.5 plays at minus 152. I think that's a good price here to fade the Twins. My numbers made them a minus 180 favorite. You can even get plus money, or I think even money on the run line if you like that. I wouldn't talk you off of that either. Zebby Matthews is just so up and down. I don't trust him. I don't think he's that good. And the Yankees got to him back early in June. I don't think the Twins are a good team, home or on the road. Yankees had a nice series against Boston over the weekend, and Cam Schlittler, he's solid on the road. 1.99 ERA. Yankees are 3-1 straight up in his 4 road starts, and he has yet to give up more than 2 runs on the road in any of those 4 starts. So I think he's pretty good on the road. So yeah, I'll take the Yankees here. And sorry, my pronunciation was nowhere near yours.
Which bit? Schlittler. Oh, shit. Was that an impression of me?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I tried to throw in a German tongue to it, but
that's what I was getting. I was getting a bit fucking Nazi sort of prison guard there,
we don't want to talk about that.
Rather than genial Northern Englishman. Anyway, good effort. Yeah, the Yankees, I think, are the right way to go here. Minus 170 was a bit skinny. I don't mind the run line, though. Since Judge, they go as Judge goes, don't they? 5 home runs in his last 6. You could have stacked him up, Dylan, in the dinger section over the last 5 nights.
I should have.
There was a dodgy outing against the Blue Jays last time for Schlittler. I think it was 2 starts ago, actually. But that's the only blot on his record. Starting to look like they have a playoff rotation as well. Carlos Rodon's been going well. Matthews is volatile, as you said. Better at home, but the Twins are 3-7 in their last 10. The Yankees just traditionally own the Twins. We know this. The Yankees' last 2 wins against the Twins were very, very comfortable. And they're scoring enough runs behind Judge. They're scoring 5-6 runs a night. I think they put up 4 last night, actually, at the Red Sox. But this is a different assignment. I think the Yankees will be okay. So Yankees minus 172, maybe it's a parlay piece but equally team total or the run line doesn't bother me either. We'll move on once I've told you about Underdog, your place to play fantasy pick'em. Win up to 500 times your entry. Just go higher or lower on your favourite player stats. Brand new offer for customers. Play $5, get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code MLB SGPN. My higher Trevor Lawrence rushing yards pick was a loser, so I will forego giving another one tonight. Rhythm is off to a great start in college football and the NFL. There's a leaderboard up there with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets. If you track 5 bets of the same type, you can win $1,000. Use the promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. Next game on the card is a 7:40 Eastern first pitch between the LA Angels and the Milwaukee Brewers. LA are plus 210. Brewers shortest price on the card, minus 263. It will be, what's his name? Caden Darner for the Angels. Fastball Freddie Peralta for the Brewers. Total sits at 8. I'll lead this one off. So I'll tell you what, the big news coming out the Brewers today is that Quintana has done his calf, which is not ideal at all for them. They're going well. They've clinched. They were the first team to clinch their playoff place. Obviously, Freddie Peralta's going okay. They've got some other bits and bobs like Quinn Priester, etc. But yeah, Quintana did end up in a walking boot. Hurt his calf in a play over at first base last night. Darner for the Angels. He's back in the majors for a third time now this season. Has flashed a little bit occasionally, but he was lit up by the Twins last time out. The 160 whip is an issue. Peralta was on an outstanding run, was finally got to by an informed Texas team last time out. There's no real shame in that particularly. But the Angels aren't Texas, and the Brewers can keep ticking over on this homestand. Brewers on the run line just looks a bit of a boring autoplay, D-Rock.
Yeah, Brewers huge favorite here. I actually like the over 8 at minus 120. My total came out to 8.9. You know, Caden Darner, like you mentioned, second time back in the majors. I just don't think he's good. Small sample size this season, but he really doesn't go long into games. He gives up the deep ball. Walks are also a problem for him as well. You don't want to do that against the Brewers. They'll take advantage of your mistakes. And I feel like this Brewers offense really started to get going and back on track in that Cardinals series over the weekend. So I think they'll be able to get to Dana. And when he exits, the Brewers are going up against a bottom 5 bullpen as well, who they just had a terrible series versus Miami. Over the Mariners over the weekend. So yeah, Brewers are going to match. They might go over this number themselves. I'll take an over 8. I feel like 8 is very small.
Okay, thank you very much. Next game is the Cincinnati Reds at the St. Louis Cardinals, which will go off at 7:45 Eastern. Left-handed pitcher Andrew Abbott for the Reds. The Cardinals will throw Michael McGreevy. Lines are close. Minus 115. The Reds. Minus 105. The Cards. Total, Dylan, is 8.
Yeah, both teams aren't really playing the best baseball right now, but I guess I would lean towards the Reds with Abbott on the mound. My numbers, they make him a minus 110 favorite. I just don't feel comfortable about it to get to the window, so I probably won't be betting it, but for this show, I will take the Reds. I know they struggle on the road, and Cardinals are coming home after a really long road trip. They are better at home, but I just think McGreevy, he does struggle at home. Over a 6 ERA. On the road, he's been really good, but for whatever reason, he just struggles in St. Louis. He's given up 3+ runs in 3 straight games at home to the Pirates, Rockies, and San Francisco. 3 not good offenses. The Reds have a better offense than all of those clubs, including St. Louis, in my opinion. So I do think Abbott, I know he struggled as of late, but I think he will be fine in this spot. I think he'll be able to limit St. Louis. So, yeah, heavy lean with Cincinnati.
Abbott, it just seems to be dropping off a little bit. I think I mentioned on the show last time when I handicapped him, maybe he's getting a little bit tired, bit of fatigue setting in. His August and September ERA and now in the mid-5s. McGreevy's got a very similar game log in terms of consistency, but his good starts have all very clearly been on the road. His last 2 home starts, he's given up 10 earned runs. So the 8 looks way low for me. If you want to take Abbott out of it, take a Cincinnati team total off McGreevy. But otherwise, I think the over 8 gives us several different options of getting to that total. It's too low. Well, look at that. I love that. Lock potential in that one. Next game this is off the board. Oh, this is unfortunate because it's probably the series of the week. 8:10 Eastern is the Texas Rangers at the Houston Astros, where Merrill Kelly is confirmed starting for Texas. And it's the Astros who are TBD. I believe it to be Christian Javier, although... See, Javier's just coming back from injury. I handicapped him for the Monday night game. It's not going to be him. They've pushed him back. So, I mean, are you seeing Javier, D-Rock, for this?
Yeah, I got Merrill Kelly versus Christian Javier.
Okay, let's go for it. Give us the winner then.
Yeah, no lines, but I think this is a big series for the Astros. You know, they lose this, they're in trouble missing the playoffs, you know, and I feel like they're getting the Rangers at the worst time. Rangers are still red hot. They've won 3 of the last 4 meetings between the Astros. And I probably would take the Rangers here as well. I made them a -115 favorite. I haven't liked what I've seen from Javier in September. Back-to-back losses, and in those 2 losses, he's given up 4+ runs in each start. So I don't like what I've seen out of him. And meanwhile, Merrill Kelly, I think he's, you know, sometimes a change of scenery is all you need. I think he's been good ever since coming over from Arizona. He just went 7 innings versus Astro team a few starts ago, and he only gave up 1 run. So the bullpen's really good. The Rangers have a top 10 bullpen as well. Just think the Rangers are the better team right now. So, yeah, I probably would take Merrill Kelly up to a -115.
D-Rock, I am right there with you. A huge series, absolutely huge series. 4 wins in a row for Kelly. Saw Houston on September the 5th. 7 innings, 1 earned run. I think he'll be fine. Faded Javier last time at the Blue Jays. Was correct to do so. Looks vulnerable to this level of opposition. I noticed the Yankees, the Blue Jays have had his number, and I think the Rangers can have his number too. I'll take Texas. And obviously, I'm slightly talking through my pocket as I want Texas to hunt down these other 2 teams and land me that 9-1 winner that I placed last week. 8:40 Eastern first pitch. This is a belter of a series. Gone from the series of the week to possibly not. The Miami Marlins are at the Colorado Rockies, where Yuri Perez for Miami will take on Kyle Freeland of Colorado. Miami and Perez are -150. No thanks. Colorado +125. Total is at 10.5. You can't bet Perez at -150. You won't have any money left. Perez is getting hit around by all comers lately. He's been absolutely dreadful on the road. Back-to-back good starts for Freeland, including that absolute belter against the Padres. Won against the Padres, pitched well against the Dodgers. Miami aren't performing as well. And I think Colorado can pinch one here. As long as Freeland holds it together, I don't think Perez will. So Colorado might just have enough in the tank to get over the line here. I'll take the Rockies as a dog.
I might not have money left. I actually like the Marlins here, -140, I see. I know Perez has struggled on the road, but a -140 to fade the Rockies, I got to take it, man. My numbers made him a -180 favorite. Even if Perez gives up 4 or 5 runs, which I feel like might be hard to do because Rockies are only averaging 3.72 runs per game. I just trust the fish to get to him the run support he needs to win this game. They have been playing a little better. They are 4-1 straight up in their last 5. The offense has come alive. They've scored 5+ runs in 4 of the last 5 games as well. And Kyle Freeland is not good. Batter's hitting over 320 off of him in Colorado. I just think the Marlins will be able to get to Freeland and that bullpen, which ranks 2nd worst in the league. So I guess I just have a different opinion. -140, I feel like, is a gift. So, yeah, I'll probably take the fish.
Okay, I'm not having that deal. 8 scoreless from Freeland tomorrow. Penultimate game on the board. Stop laughing. 9:40 Eastern is the San Francisco Giants at the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is off the board. The Giants are TBD, but we think is the geezer's name Carson Seymour. Is that his first name?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you mean you think so?
No, I'm trying to see if this is who's going. Yes, it is Carson Seymour.
All right, sorry, I thought you meant is that his name?
You asked me a question while I'm looking, and I think it is Seymour, but yeah.
I've had Carson Seymour all day. Going up against left-handed pitcher Eduardo Rodriguez for the Diamondbacks. I haven't seen any lines on this one.
Yeah.
Seymour, it's kind of a bullpen day, actually, for the Giants. Seymour did start... When did he start? September the 5th, and actually went 5 innings on that appearance. Since then, he has appeared out of the bullpen a further twice and thrown 1 inning each time. So it'll be a max 5, I imagine, shorter than that. His start was at St. Louis, and the Giants won that 8-2, so he went all right. Erod pitched at the Giants last week. Picked it. We watched him live on the show, actually. It was a little bit of baseball going on. We cheered home the, I can't remember if that was me, you, and or Lonte. We cheered home the 5th run for the early payout as it happened. He shut them down for 6 1/3 in a 5-3 win. But I tell you what, the Giants are rolling, you know. I think there'll be a good underdog price here. I think the Giants can make an adjustment to Erod, who isn't the most consistent. They're 14-6 in their last 20, 6.6 runs per game. They're going to call up Bryce Eldridge, I wanted to mention, actually. What an absolute specimen of an athlete he is, by the way. He looks like a baby Aaron Judge. He's just that shape. You know that shape that me and you want to be, Dylan? Like that triangle shape, where more of like a circle. He's that shape that people like us should be. So keep your eye on Bryce Eldridge for the next 2 weeks. He might be mustard. Really high SP, ERA, actually, from the Giants. But this bullpen's going to be all right. I'm going to take the Giants, and I hope there'll be a dog. I don't know if you've got any Rockford lines. What do you think it might be?
Yeah, I made the Diamondbacks a -115 favorite, so I do think there'll be a dog. So yeah, if they're a small puppy, they might be on the road with Erod. I might look towards an over. You know, Erod going for the Snakes. He does struggle at home, and usually between these two clubs, we do see higher scoring games when they get together. So Giants are an over team on the road, while the Snakes, they do have a top 5 offense. They're averaging 5 runs per game at home this season. So, you know, Carson, he's not good. In that one start, yeah, he only gave up 1 run, but then in 1 inning versus this Diamondback team, he gave up 4 runs in 1 1/3 innings. So, yeah, I think we'll see some runs here. I made my total 9.4 if it is Carson Seymour. So I do think we'll see some runs in Arizona. So I probably would take an over.
Yeah, I did like the over as well. I thought we could fade both there. Final game on the board is this the series of the week? We called it early with the Rangers and the Astros. It might just be the Phillies at the Dodgers. 2 first place teams here will go off at Cowboy time, 10:10 Eastern. Christopher Sanchez, left-handed pitcher for the Phillies, and Shohei Ohtani for the LA Dodgers, who are -120 favourites. Philly even money, +100. Total D-Rock is 8. Finish us off with a winner, mate.
Yeah, this is a great series in LA. Possible playoff matchup. We'll see down the road. I like Christopher Sanchez here, but I like backing him more in Philly than on the road. And now Shohei Ohtani, he hasn't been his normal stuff either, but he is better at home. But my problem is they really don't push him long. He hasn't gone past the 5th inning all year, which worries me. And also the Dodgers bullpen, that still worries me as well. Phillies don't have the best bullpen either. I do think LA's bullpen has gotten better as of late, but they haven't been playing the cream of the crop as of late. So gun to my head, I probably would take Philly at even money. My numbers only made the Dodgers a -110 favorite. My total 8.2. So total seems spot on. I just think the Phillies are the hotter team right now, and I think they have the better pitcher. So I'll probably take Philly at even money.
Yeah, so gun to my head, I would take the Phillies at even money too, D-Rock, for a lot of the reasons you outlined. I actually came down on the total, and I like the over here. 3 great starts on the bounce for Sanchez, 23-8 aggregate wins in those. Career against the Dodgers has been all right, 2-0, 3.37 ERA. Ohtani is warm into his task a little bit with the ball, but I'm still not sure I want to be putting much money on him against this Philadelphia offense. And even though Sanchez is pitching well, the Dodgers can hit left-handed pitching at home, they must have. D-Rock, pop quiz. How many runners did the Dodgers get into scoring position last night?
10.
22 with the fuckers. Honestly, you've got no chance, man. There's a 22 times there's a man standing on second base. It's not fair. Like, they're just going to score. We talked last, like, the lineup's just preposterously deep. 6-1 in the last 7 games, averaging 6.9 runs per game. I did want to shout out Harrison Bader as well. 38 games since he became a Philly. 349 batting average, Harrison Bader. So he's doing bits. So, yeah, I just think the offenses are just too strong at some point with 2, 3, 4, 5 swings of the bat. It's inevitable that we see some little rallies put together and we see some runs put up here. So I will take over 8 in that one. We have covered the double header, which means we are done and dusted, D-Rock. Okay, I am making a table now with my pen and paper, D-Rock, because we have challenged ourselves to the back-to-back-to-back shows, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, lock and dog contest, Dylan, for all the beans. There will be some sort of forfeit at the end. You lead off tonight, I'll lead off tomorrow, and then we'll toss a coin on Wednesday, okay?
Sounds good. I am going to take, as my lock, I'll take the Blue Jays here. I like the Blue Jays here on the road. I'm not a Pepiot fan, and I think Jose Barrios has been much better on the road. I trust the offense more for Toronto. I think they get a win. So I'll take Toronto as my lock. As my dog, I feel like I gave out some nice plus money here today. You know, I thought I was going to take the Fish as my lock just because you don't like them so much, but I don't know. I was gonna go Cubs. Are they still a dog? The Cubs?
Yeah. You can have the Cubs.
They're still.
Cubs are plus 110.
Plus 110. Yeah, fuck it. I'll take the Cubs here with Cade Horton. I think it will be an under game. I do like that play more, but once Paul Skeens gets out of this game, I do think the Cubs offense will be able to get to that bullpen. Yeah, so I'll take the Cubs as my dog at plus 110.
And the Blue Jays at minus 105. I'm writing this down here. I got 2 totals of 8 that I want to lock up here, and I'll probably choose the wrong one. I'll do like that last one, Dodgers Phillies, but I did talk myself into the Reds and the Cardinals because I think both pitchers could help us out here. So I'll take the over 8, D-Rock, in the Reds at the Cardinals at minus 120. And for my underdog, we had quite a few. The top 2 on the card. Cleveland was an option. You've stolen Chicago, which you have every right to do so. I'll take Cleveland. Cantillo over Mize at plus 125. Are we adding the home run into this or not? Would you like not to?
For the show, but we don't have to do it for our records. I'll do it.
Right, okay. We'll just go lock and dog for the contest.
Yeah.
We had the all too frequent sighting of a time traveling home run last night. I gave out George Springer on the show for Monday, and not 1 hour later, he sent one over the fence 24 hours too soon. So there you go. D-Rock, who have you got for Tuesday?
By the way, what's the winner get again? Did we lay that out? And what's the loser get? Or what's the loser have to do?
What would you like? I'll tell you what, D-Rock.
Something from the Champions League.
The what, sorry?
Something from the Champions League, like a brochure.
I want you to read a book.
Oh, fuck.
For your forfeit if you lose.
Does a comic count?
Come back during the playoffs with a book report for us. A 60-second book report on a book, okay?
All right, that's fair. If I lose, I'll have to read a book.
You can have 24 hours to think about my forfeit. You can hit me tomorrow.
All right, I'll hit you tomorrow. For my home run, I'm gonna do William Contreras on the Milwaukee Brewers. I know he hasn't had one this month, but he's hitting 324 in the month of September. He's seeing the ball really well, and Caden Dana is just not good. He gives up a lot of home runs, and he's just going to give him a nice fastball right down the middle. And William Contreras is going to say, "See ya, home run."
Okay, fair enough. I have got no choice but to fade Jeffrey Springs. I mentioned that he can't keep it in the park. I mentioned that home run to fly ball rate. Love the fact that we get Fenway. Oh, Trevor Story's just absolute mustard. I did, like I mentioned, I watched a lot of this Boston hitting last night, and they were just great. Duran gets on. Bregman's a machine. We know Story. I'm pleased for Story. Deserved a little bit of luck. But then it was Rob Refsnyder. It was Narvaez hit one deep. It was Romy Gonzalez. Kind of a couple of the less shiny toys that the Boston have. Can't put it together. But I will take... Who the fuck did I say? Did I say...
You didn't say. You just said you'll fade Jeffrey Springs.
Yeah, I couldn't remember which hitter I gave. I talked myself into about 7 of them. Trevor Story. Yeah, Trevor Story's the answer. Right, okay. Well done, D-Rock. That was fun. And I'm confident about that, you know. We're getting a little bit of reassurance in the chat of Tom and Eli and the boys. I feel bad for Bennett because I faded the Diamondbacks after we said that it was an omen. There was some Diamondbacks chat, and then I did fade them later on. D-Rock, anything you want to tell the people about before we let them go?
No, just good luck on all your bets. And yeah, I know it's tough handicapping all these games with some of them. Nothing to play for coming up, but, you know, playoff baseball is right around the corner. So hopefully we see the Mets.
Beautiful. Yeah, hope we do, mate. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it. Good luck with your bets. We'll be back for leg 2 of this trilogy that me and Dylan are putting together. Good luck with your picks. We'll see you down the road. Cheers.